Our question comes in from Gord, and he wants to ask Demers if he feels that Stecher's size is going to be too much of a factor to prevent him from playing in the top 4 long-term with Nurse. His game seems like a fit, but his size does not. I love Troy Stecher dropping the mitts the other day. We talked about that. He went toe-to-toe with Couturier. What do you think of Stecher as a fit in the top 4?
I don't think it's a long-term solution. I know Troy Stecher a little bit. I've followed him. He's a good, dependable guy. But I think he's a 5'6", 6'7". I don't think he's a 4. So I think, like I said, these 2 games weren't really tester games for the Oilers. I think it was games they needed to have. And if I'm looking at their schedule, those 2 games that circled on my calendar was like must wins. And even that Philly game was it was close to not being great, but we know how that turned out. But I think, listen, they miss Broberg like crazy. You could see it, Broberg, you could just see it watching the games. He was a big piece. I think that offer sheet, they should have matched it, but it is what it is. I don't know where they're going to find the money, but I think they should have moved Teller Highwater to keep him. I think they're going to bring in a D-man. I don't know when, but I think sooner before Christmas, I think they bring somebody in because, it's just not a conducive top 4. He battles hard, Stetch, and he can move the puck well. He's got some offense. He can fight. He'll play physical, but in the long term, I don't think it's a fit. I think Nursey needs somebody. They need a legit 4 in that spot. I think it's something they haven't really had in 4 or 5 years. So I think they're going to really, I'm sure Bowman and the brain trust there is watching all the teams, who's playing well, who's faltering, and they're probably going to look to scoop somebody up. I just can't see it, or maybe sign somebody. But, I'm looking at Timothy Logren in Toronto as like a potential guy that I know people are probably not high on him right now, but he's a puck mover that, he's got some good offensive chops to him, could man your second power play, can move the puck well. It's $3 million, so you're going to have to figure out a way to move that around. Maybe Toronto retains some salary, but he's just a guy I'm looking at. There's not much out there. So, they either need to get somebody, big and defensive or, a little puck mover. But I just think Stetcher's he's a tweener for me. I think right now it's good. He'll do the job, but, listen, he wasn't playing in Arizona when they were rebuilding, and it's like you're asking him to take on top 4 minutes. It's kind of not if the shoe will drop, but kind of when. So, I think it's asking him to do too much. You'd wish Brett Kulak could do that as well, but, Cooley's I think him and Cooley should be your bottom 2, your 5'6", and I think they're a great 5'6" together. And it's just finding that person to fit. I think Emberson's, we thought was going to be the guy, but I think he's a little bit too young. I think he needs kind of a year, a little bit of seasoning, and needs to mature a little bit, especially if they're trying to win now. But I think obviously if I'm the Edmonton Oilers, I'm searching and scouring the markets, trying to find somebody to come in that 4 spot.
You just got to survive.
Yeah, like it's a little bit like putting a Band-Aid on a flesh wound with Stecher, and it's like, I mean, it's covering something up, but it's not covering up a whole heck of a lot.
And everyone, and I think everyone in Edmonton's the same. Everybody understands the fans, and you could see the patience with the back end and appreciate what he's doing. And I think he's doing a good job. I just think it's not the long-term solution. If you want to win a cup now and you look at that decor, you just need to add something. There's some good pieces, and obviously, listen, Bush hasn't been Bush yet. He's gonna find his game, and he's got a little slow out of the gates, but all the more reason that you need a guy that you can lean on. So
what's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.